Thanks, Katie. You know, creative minds in the tech world have traditionally come together in so-called incubators, hubs of like-minded people who often have access to ample resources to draw from. And they're often in urban areas, but a Nova Scotia organization is dedicated to nurturing startups in rural areas, and it's about to launch an online incubator for any Atlantic Canadian entrepreneur. So we're learning more this morning from Andrew Button, who's the founder of Mashup Lab. Good morning.
Hey, Heidi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me back.
And last time you were in, we talked about an actual mashup weekend where you were bringing people together, kind of throwing them together and seeing what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of fun.
So if there's one thing that I learned from that weekend is that great ideas can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
We had over 50 people participating in that weekend back in November. We had 27 ideas that were pitched. Teams formed around 12 of those ideas. And but something really interesting happened after the weekend. And I was getting emails from participants saying, listen, the weekend was awesome, but we want to take this idea to the next level. Like, where do we sign up for the next program? And people saying, I wasn't able to make the weekend, but it sounded awesome. But I have this idea that I want to move forward. And folks from all 4 Atlantic provinces saying, how do aspiring entrepreneurs in my community be able to take advantage of some of the things you're doing with Mashup Lab? So that inspired me to launch this Mashup Lab Virtual Incubation Program.
Right, exactly, because you can't be everywhere.
No, that's right.
As much as you try. So how would this work then? What's the idea of like a virtual incubator?
Yeah, so I pitch it as 3 steps from an idea to a viable business. And the very first step of that, which I call Spark, it starts September the 8th. And it's designed to take you from the very earliest stages of an idea to clarity, a clear plan in 6 weeks. And I've teamed up with an organization in Vancouver called Spring to deliver this. So the way it works is weekly group sessions live streamed online that people can get access to top entrepreneurs, subject matter experts, that can have been there and taken an idea and actually turned it into something real. And we combine that with one-on-one coaching. So, so that's a really interesting component of it. So it's those two elements of being able to do something online, but then we find every participant. We're looking for 20 people across Atlantic Canada to do this first session. Every participant is assigned a coach that ideally is within a 30-minute drive of wherever they are in Atlantic Canada, and they'll work with them one-on-one to say all the things that we're learning during the weekly web sessions, how does that apply to my situation,
make it happen. So then once you do those, what happens after that then? So then you have a plan, then what?
So the next step is what I call Ignite, and that's really taking that plan on paper and turning it into something real in the market, and that's the second 6 weeks. And then the very final phase is, once I've validated that there's a business here, I know exactly who my customer is, I know exactly what I need to do, I've tested things out. Now it's about putting fuel on the fire. So that phase is called Fuel. That'll launch in 2016.
Oh wow, okay. So would it be the same group of entrepreneurs then the whole way through?
Not necessarily, right? So we're taking 20 entrepreneurs from Atlantic Canada to explore the Spark program, which starts September the 8th. As I mentioned, and I'm sure there'll be a portion of those 20 that'll move into the next phase, and a portion of those that'll move into the third. But people can kind of plug in wherever they are.
Whatever stage they're at in their business.
Exactly. They may have done something else that helped them to really get clarity around their idea, and now they're ready for Ignite. So we open it up for folks that way too.
Oh wow. So how do you find the people to participate, or do they find you?
They have been finding me, but fortunately we've got a great network of really engaged people across Atlantic Canada in those communities that know who those 5 people are with that idea that they've been sitting on for a while, and now's the right time to do something about it. So they've been sharing on Twitter and via email, and people have been going to the website and checking it out.
The joy of networking. So without something like this, where would people in rural areas be, do you think?
Yeah, it's there's some great resources out there, but they're not necessarily a great fit for everybody. So oftentimes people are left to their own devices, and they're often, if they're living in a small community, they're often working somewhere, or there's other things happening in their life. So finding the time to carve out like a specific period of time to really take that idea and explore it, that idea that's you've been gnawing on for a while. Yeah, and maybe now's the right time to pull it off the shelf and go do something about it.
That's a really neat idea. So a virtual incubator. Sounds great. Thanks so much for coming in.
A little bit of an extra incentive for the next 10 people that sign up. We're able to sponsor 50% of their costs. So we've been able to get some sponsors on board to do that.
That's fantastic.
Go to the website, mashuplab.ca, and check it out.
That's a great reason. We'll post that website on our website as well, so you can connect that way. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks again for having me.
Congratulations on this next step. You're your own incubator.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting how that works. Now, don't forget, you can connect with us anytime. We're on social media, too. We're on Twitter at CTV Morning ATL, Facebook, CTV Atlantic Morning, and our email address is cml@bellmedia.ca.